These fighters spent weeks telling the world exactly what they were going to do to Manny Pacquiao. Every single one of them regretted it.
Manny Pacquiao, T-Rex arms. Pop, pop, pop.
Y'all got me fucked up if y'all think I'm about to lose to Manny Pacquiao, man. I'm about to beat his motherfucking ass on God now.
There are fighters who talk and fighters who back it up.
I keep my mouth shut and let him talk. Let my fist talk in the ring.
Then there is a third category. Fighters who talk louder than anyone in the room and then walk into the most humbling experience of their professional lives.
You know, this little bunny rabbit, the way he hops around in the ring, I'm not going to lose to no bunny rabbit. Believe that, okay? Yeah. He ain't Tupac, but he does do a little hip hop. He's going to hip hop, and you don't stop until he gets dropped.
Manny Pacquiao has spent 2 decades being that experience. 8 divisions. Fighter of the decade. A global icon who kept winning long past the point where everyone agreed he should have stopped. When the trash talk stopped and the lights came on, Pacquiao reminded them all of something simple. There are levels to this game. Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman did not just talk, he performed. He was sharp, entertaining, and genuinely creative with his disrespect, bunny rabbit, T-Rex arms, getting crucified. He compared Pacquiao's movement to hip-hop and himself to a one-time world champion who would not lose to a 40-year-old senator from the Philippines. And he had every reason to feel that way.
I mean, I know he likes to quote Bible verses, so I'll let you know he's getting crucified.
In 2019, Thurman was the undefeated WBA welterweight champion. Victories over Sean Porter and Danny Garcia had validated his status as one of the division's best. He was in his prime. He was physically imposing. He was genuinely one of the best fighters in the world. Manny Pacquiao was 40 years old and balancing politics with prize fighting. The loss to Jeff Horn had given critics ammunition. Doubters were loud. The narrative was that Father Time was circling. Then round 1 started. Pacquiao came through with quick feet and sharp combination punching, and caught Thurman backing up with a lightning burst that put him on the canvas. First round knockdown. The arena erupted. Thurman rose, but the shock was visible and it was real. The tone had been set immediately. Pacquiao's speed became the story of the early rounds. The angles, the in-and-out movement, the ability to make a physically larger undefeated champion look like he could not time what he could not quite see. Thurman tried to establish his jab and his rhythm, but Pacquiao was already gone by the time the counter arrived. Through 6 rounds, Pacquiao had outworked and outlanded him consistently. Thurman adjusted. He began committing to his counters, planting his feet, letting combinations go. There were stretches of success. He had moments where the momentum genuinely threatened to shift. Both men hurt each other in a fight that lived up to its billing. In the 4th round, Thurman had Pacquiao on the back foot. In the championship rounds, he surged. Neither man gave ground easily. Then, in the 10th, Pacquiao ripped a body shot that visibly folded Thurman. The mouthpiece flew out. Thurman retreated, buying seconds, trying to steady himself. Whatever momentum he had built crumpled in that moment. The fight closed out the way Pacquiao fights close out. The man pressing forward, the man talking backed against the ropes. Split decision. Pacquiao. At 40 years old, he defeated an undefeated welterweight champion in his physical prime. Thurman had gotten crucified exactly the way he had promised Pacquiao would be. Karma in boxing does not whisper. It strikes sudden, sharp, and in front of a sold-out arena. Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner once had the world at his feet. 4-division world champion. Flashy, skilled, genuinely talented, and armed with a mouth that could fill any room.
They can, man. Anybody can get it. Africans, I just beat the fuck out of a Mexican.
In his early years, the hands were as sharp as the words. Then came Marcos Maidana. That night changed everything. He was dropped, battered, and humbled in a way that exposed the difference between promotional confidence and actual durability under fire. From there, the slide was gradual but consistent. Close losses, inconsistent performances, more headlines for chaos off the canvas than craft on it. By the time the Pacquiao fight arrived, it felt like a lifeline, a chance to rewrite the narrative. Win this, and none of the recent history matters. Broner did what Broner always did. He talked. He made promises. He offered borderline racist remarks aimed at his opponent.
Fuck Pacquiao, fuck Bob Arum.
I really wasn't going to come up here and say a lot of Asian jokes, but before he beat me, he got a better chance of becoming a driving instructor.
He swore he would shock the world. His entrance carried the full trademark swagger of a man who believed the spotlight was his personal property. Pacquiao walked to the ring in the opposite direction, calm, steady, completely uninterested in the theater happening across the canvas. One man was still selling the moment. The other was preparing to define it. The early rounds established the dynamic immediately. Pacquiao was the aggressor. He stepped in with sharp combinations and quick feet, while Broner sat back and defended. waiting for openings that never truly arrived. Pacquiao's hand speed became the dominant conversation in commentary. At 40, he was still doing things that younger fighters could not time and could not catch. Broner tried to use his length and his clinching, but every time he attempted to slow the pace, Pacquiao worked his way out and reset and came forward again. In the 7th, the fight exploded. Pacquiao landed his signature combination, a looping left hand that connected clean, and Broner felt it immediately. He had to clinch and retreat. He came back, but sensing the moment, Pacquiao unleashed a flurry that forced Broner to absorb damage and hold on. He might have been ready to go. The corner kept him standing. By the 9th, a powerful left hook sent Broner reeling against the ropes and nearly produced a stoppage. Broner survived, but the trajectory of the fight was clear. He abandoned any serious attempt to attack in the final rounds, spending them holding, evading, and surviving. The crowd grew restless at the lack of return fire. A man who had spent the entire pre-fight cycle promising to shock the world, spent the championship rounds trying not to get stopped. Final bell. Unanimous decision. Pacquiao. It was not a war. It was a lesson. Broner had promised to beat a bunny rabbit and ended the night being the man who ran. The fighter who had called Pacquiao out for everything. His age, his size, his ability to compete at this level. Walked back to his corner having answered none of those questions for himself. What these two fights reveal. The Thurman and Broner fights are different stories told through the same lesson, but they reveal two completely different types of arrogance and two completely different types of consequences. Thurman's trash talk came from a place of genuine confidence backed by legitimate achievement. He was the undefeated champion. He was bigger. He was younger. He was physically in the best shape of his life. His disrespect was rooted in what he actually believed, that Father Time had caught Pacquiao, and that his own prime was unstoppable. He was wrong, but he backed up his words with 12 rounds of real effort and genuine heart. He went down in the first, got back up, won rounds, hurt Pacquiao, and pushed it to a decision. His humbling came in the result, but not in the performance. Broner's was different. His arrogance was theatrical rather than earned. His career since the Maidana loss had not justified the confidence he was still projecting. He made racist remarks. He promised a shock. And when the lights came on, he spent the night running. He was not humbled by being knocked down or being stopped. He was humbled by the scorecards and by what the crowd saw. A man who had the platform and could not fill it when the moment arrived. What Pacquiao does to fighters who talk is not accidental. He is one of the rare athletes who seems to find additional motivation from being underestimated rather than being intimidated by the occasion.
I gotta go in there, I gotta retire you. I gotta retire Manny Pacquiao.
The bigger the mouth across from him, the quieter and more focused he becomes. The contrast in the walk to the ring told you everything you needed to know before a single punch was thrown. Thurman entering with energy and theater. Broner entering with swagger and performance. Pacquiao entering with nothing, just eyes fixed on the ring, hands loose at his sides, completely at peace with what was about to happen. That calm is earned over 2 decades of answering questions in front of the biggest audiences in the sport. Thurman answered the question. He was the better man that night. Broner never answered it. He was outworked by a 40-year-old senator and had no explanation that satisfied anyone. 2 arrogant fighters. 2 nights in Las Vegas. 1 outcome for both of them. Pacquiao letting his fists give the answer. Drop a comment telling us which moment from these fights was the most satisfying. Check the end screen right now for more boxing breakdowns sitting there, waiting.